Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the DLLS Cowboys podcast. Limited time offer going on because of the free agency frenzy. $36 for your first year of Die Hard status. Take advantage of that. You still get your free t-shirt. Take advantage of it, baby. We got a good deal for you going on. It is the DLLS Cowboys podcast on a Monday. And welcome in. It's good to see everybody. We got all the Cowboys free agency things to talk about, stuff that Jerry's been saying. We're going to work through all your Cowboys stuff as we do every day on DLLS. Welcome in. My name is Jeff. I am next to former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holly.
Oh, Jesse Holly went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
He is next to the greatest beat writer in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill. What's up, everybody? Clarence, you got a nice setup today. Sorry, yeah. Jesse, I got to talk to you first. 1 to 2 to 3. What's up, Jesse? Good to see you.
What's up, man? Welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you that. It's going to be interesting. Your boy takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 8 pills when I wake up.
Okay.
3 Shout out
to Dal Jabron. First time ever I made it in for a live. I'm never up this early. Let's go, boys. Welcome. Thank you for being in the land of the living today, baby.
Yeah, congratulations on being able to get sleep. That must be cool. I'm getting about an hour and a half a night. That's fun. Try sleeping after a knee replacement. It's not easy. It's real tough. Chill upgraded to Windows 7, according to Dustin. So that's nice. So let's get started. Cowboys free agency stuff. I just want to
hold on.
Okay.
Are you home, Clarence?
I mean, why are you messy?
You think somebody else's home?
Is this a road game? Are you on a road game?
I'm at home. What are you talking about?
Okay, I didn't know if you had a home game or a road game. That's all. That's all, brother. Okay.
This is my stuff.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, show us some awards.
It's my stuff.
You don't get a clear enough camera. Show us your awards. Show us what you got.
Goodness gracious.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you was playing on the road or playing at home.
Okay, don't move it. Don't move it.
Citizen of the year. Okay.
Citizen of the year.
I mean, come on, man. Come on.
All right. Okay, brother. You good.
Awards.
Man of the year. What are you talking about?
Nice.
I got an award too. This is a award of appreciation from the Roselle School District. You know what I'm saying? Roselle Public School, Abraham Clark High School, award of appreciation.
Breaking news award.
I don't even know what they appreciated me for. Oh, for many years of outstanding service, commitment, and lasting contributions to Abraham Clark High School. Your legacy of excellence inspires everyone around you. Thank you on behalf of the students, parents, and the staff at Roselle Public Schools. All right. Okay, Jess.
That's nice.
Yeah. Black Legacy Foundation, Austin.
I got a game ball.
Hall of Fame.
I got a game ball right here.
Come on, man.
I didn't even know we were going to do our awards segment.
Me neither.
I got to go in the garage and get some of my flag football natties.
Yeah, here we go. This NFC East Division champs right here.
Lifetime membership, Omega South Five. Lifetime membership.
You got a game ball, though. You know what I'm saying?
I can't help you guys.
Game ball. Oh, I mean, if we really want to get, it is that season. It is that season. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you got you. Oh, a little natty ring?
Yeah, it is that season.
Basketball season.
March Madness.
I don't have anything. I don't have any.
All right.
I guess I've never won anything. That's tough. So Cowboys from the DLLS Sports account. Yeah. We got some super chats right before the show even really got started. Trigger is in the super chat. He said, "Good morning, Jeff. If we got completely wiped out at 12, would you take Dylan Thieneman at number 12 overall? It's not my goal, but it's gonna be a wonky draft. I put that out. I've told you it's gonna be a wonky draft. There's a decent chance that at 12, you just got to forget what number you're picking. Don't worry about that, and just say, is that dude going to help my football team or not? And accept that the answer is yes. Like Dylan Thieneman would help the Cowboys. Would I pick him at 12? I don't think so. Zach dropped a super chat on us too, and we appreciate him for being here. Let's start with that Jerry quote and get started with Cowboys free agency. Here's Jerry. I
I don't know that since we've had free agency as we know it today, where it's really very viable. Most teams involved very actively making deals, if you will. I don't know since that's evolved and come about that we've ever had this kind of reshaping of an aspect of our team.
And so that's what Jerry had to say about reshaping the defense through free agency and what the Cowboys have done so far this offseason. And I just want to throw that quote out there and get your guys' reaction to it.
Clarence, you can go first.
Thank you. I don't know what I mean. The reshaping of the team has been mostly because of the reshaping of the defense, because of the new defense coordinator switching from the 4-3 to the 3-4. Am I correct?
Yeah.
I mean, again, my issue, and it's maybe my personal issue, and I do think the Cowboys are better. I do think they've improved the talent, especially in the secondary. But we were sold that they were going to do so much more. We were sold a bill of goods. We were sold they were going to be aggressive, in reshaping their team. They were going to be more down the road and doing things that, for difference-making players and reshaping the team. And that didn't happen. They've certainly got guys that fit what they want to do, certainly fit their vision. We talked about having a vision for their defense. But I think Jerry's overselling it, because if you look at the money they've spent, and, this whole thing has been a backdrop of moving different. We're going to do different things we've done in the past. What Jerry tried to say, they really haven't done more than they did last year. If you just look when you look at the money they've spent and the moves they made as far as adding players. I mean, that's this year, 156. Yeah. What about 2025? What did they do in 25? I mean, it's not that much of a difference.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think everybody just has to be careful. Like every offseason, Jerry's going to, whether it's intentional or an accident, that we just grab onto some sort of catchphrase he uses and we make that like the mantra of the offseason. Like it's just never going to be true. Like it was never going to be like all in wasn't going to be actual all in. Bust the budget wasn't going to be real life bust the budget. He's going to say his words, and then they're going to have the Cowboys offseason the way that they tend to do it. And so to me, this one hadn't been any different than any other one. If you want to take heart, take solace in the fact that on day one of free agency, they were at least in town and not on the boat on spring break, and that they actually had action on day one. I get it. I get viewing that as something to be optimistic about. But as far as what they've actually done, they've done what they do every year. I do think that the reason that this offseason I can view through a little bit different lens than I have probably the last 4 or 5 is because I do think for the first time in 5 years, I know because I looked back 5 years, they're better with what they're bringing in than what they're losing. And maybe part of that is just they'd already lost everything and they've run out of talent. So there's just not a lot. I don't think the Cowboys are going to get a comp pick this year. When your players sign a contract somewhere else in an offseason when they're a free agent, if it's the right dollar amount, you get a compensatory pick the next year. I don't think the Cowboys are going to get any. And that just speaks to what you're losing is nothing. And so whatever you bring in for the first time in a half decade, at least you're getting better. And that hadn't been true for a half decade for this team in free agency.
But does that mean
they've gained every year?
Does that speak more to the bad roster construction or actually what they're doing? I mean, that just shows you how bad the players were on the defense last year.
Yeah, I think it was a compounding effect of 5 years of we lost some good players, and what we brought in was a real half-ass attempt. And then we did it again and again and again. And so this offseason isn't much different of what you're bringing in, but what you're losing is nothing. So at least it's a net positive. And that's the way I'm going to spin this in my brain. It's the first net positive free agency / trades in the first week of a league year that they've had in a half decade. And that's what I got, and that's what I'm going with. At least they're better a little bit.
And I think that's still all relative because it's paper right now, right? It's a roster. It's names that are slotted in these positions that we're hoping comes together, right? We're hoping at some point in time because we all have a liking and a positive infatuation with Christian Parker. And so we're hoping that continues on the same line, as well as adding the pieces to the other players that he wanted on his roster, that comes together and it goes from being off paper on the field. But we've seen other players come here and not have their, have their talent risen. So I think we like Christian Parker, and anything that they're doing to help him, we're liking what they've done. But to Clarence's point, and I was going to say it right before he has spoken, but when you're that bad, anything looks sweet. When you're hungry, anything looks like a delicious meal. And so right now, because the Cowboys were so bad defensively last year and the last couple of years, anything that we look at is better than, Donovan Wilson, or better than Dante Fowler at defensive end, or what we had and Revel for moments of last year, or Kalen Carson at the cornerback spot. Everything now looks better because of the lens in which we saw it a year ago. It doesn't mean it's going to be better, but today it looks better. I think that's what we're riding on. We're riding on the hope. And I guess the offseason, no matter how you look at it, it is hope. Whether you want to buy the hopium or not buy the hopium, all of this, the Christian Parker, adding it. This is the dating portion, right? We have entered in a new relationship, and when you enter in a new relationship, what do you get on the front end? You get the representation, right? You get the representative that comes in and it tells you all the great qualities. It tells you all about how you like this and how you have thoughts of the future, and you have a game plan on how you want this particular relationship to work. And then you get 6 months into it and you're like, oh, that person has changed. This person has changed. So right now we're in the beginning stages of this relationship where the butterflies are still in the stomach for Christian Parker. And that's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing. It is a thing. And so we're living off that hope. We have to see how this thing plays out 6 months from now, where now I get to see you with the makeup off. Now you get to see me after having a couple of bad days. Now I get to see when that wig ain't really done up the way it's supposed to be done up, or you need a fill-in, or whatever that may have you. I'm just saying, you might fart underneath the covers. I need to. You ain't gonna do that initially. You might not even use the bathroom a number 2 at my house.
Yeah,
the first time around. You know what I mean? But I need to get to that point in time where I'm like, okay, who is the real person? Will the real person please stand up? And I think that part we'll get to that at first. And so all we have to go off is the butterfly hope feeling of this might be the one.
Can I just ask Clarence a quick follow-up, very Cowboys question?
We're not going to talk about farting underneath the covers and doing number 2 at the house. I'm just
Clarence,
how long let that go?
How long into a relationship before you'll go number 2 at somebody else's house?
A week?
1 week? Well, I feel like
we're talking about relationship, but we're talking about dating.
I don't know what's
the relationship.
I'm saying you got this lady you've been hanging out with. You've been to her house, a couple times a week. How many weeks before you're comfortable going number 2 there?
A week? 2 weeks?
Oh, you're quick. I guess you get older, you don't care no more. You're just like, yeah, look, that's part of life.
It's a natural bodily function. We all got to do it. She got to do it too.
Facts. Coming up next on the DLS Cowboys podcast, we're talking about all of the Cowboys free agency. We're also donging around the NFL draft. Is free agency around the NFL going to help Dallas land the person they want? It's next.
If you love the NFL draft, then this is your edge. The Die Hard NFL Draft Guide is built and based off of thousands of hours of film study, being boots on the ground, Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl, Combine, talking to scouts, talking to coaches, really getting a feel for where these players are best going to fit and project in the NFL. We're talking hundreds of players in this class.
Cowboy fans, you got to have access to Fran Duffy's Die Hard Draft Guide because he knows exactly what the Cowboys are looking for and has in-depth scouting reports on everybody that can help this team. So help yourself and be informed about the NFL draft. Make sure you got Fran's Draft Guide.
All right, so what are you going to find in the guide? Well, you're going to find player comps. You're going to find strengths, weaknesses, physical tools, analytics, highlights, analysis from all across the space, everything you need to try and determine who are the best players for your team. You get access to the guide if you're a diehard, and you'll also get access to a couple of individual breakdowns I'm doing specifically for your team. All right, look, if you want surface level breakdowns, you can get them anywhere. But if you want independent thought, if you want thorough breakdowns on all of these prospects, become a diehard, get the guide. Or you can get access to the 2026 guide for just $26. Let's win draft season.
Let's take a moment, talk about our friends at Wild Fork Foods, Meat and Seafood Market, my favorite store in DFW. By a mile, you might hear in the news, beef prices are skyrocketing. It's top story daily for weeks. Well, you haven't been to Wild Fork Foods, have you? The best selection, incredible pricing, over 700 items, including 400 at under $10 a pound. I love the pre-marinated skirt steak or the chimichurri one, whichever one you want. But, I mean, you want steak, you want chicken, you want seafood, you want something exotic like ostrich or rabbit. They have everything at Wild Fork Foods, and you can get whole meals there because they also have awesome side dishes. Their mac and cheese is great, the mashed potatoes, the asparagus, they got spices, whatever you need. They got you squared away at Wild Fork Foods, the Meat and Seafood Market. 9 different locations. Frozen is fresher at Wild Fork Foods, Meat and Seafood Market. Their organic grass-fed ground beef, 85% lean, is $6 a pound. That's about the best I've seen out there. You got to try them out at one of their 9 area DFW locations. Learn more at wildforkfoods.com. All right, it is the DLLS Cowboys podcast. We talked about Cowboys free agency a little bit off the top there. We're going to dive into some draft stuff too and how it could be affected by what's going on in free agency, not just with the Cowboys, but around the NFL. But we also have some super chats. Dave's in there. He said, Jeff, glad you're up. All you got to do is have a knee replaced, and people are really about you on the show. I appreciate you guys. Jeff, glad you're up. Up day one, like I said, I was up on day one. I had physical therapy 5 hours after they replaced my knee. Most important, who you walk in on: Zimmer, Johnson & Johnson, Smith & Nephew, Stryker. I don't know the names of the things that they put into my knee. Bottom line, the defense is better. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I got a knee, and it's wonderful. Renard is in the super chat. He said Falk at 12. That's Keldrick Falk, Auburn defensive end. And signed Calais Campbell, C.J. Allen at 20. That's a Georgia linebacker. And signed Bobby Wagner, best available at 92. Renard's got a whole draft plan for us, and I appreciate him having that. Do we think our dreams could come true? Because when you look around the NFL and then you look at mock drafts, the dream for me anyway is Sonny Styles, my little Fred. Ohio State linebacker being a Dallas Cowboy. And it seems kind of far-fetched because I do think he's one of the 2 or 3 best prospects in the entire draft class, but he's an off-the-ball linebacker. But the Giants, the Saints, the Commanders, 3 teams that a lot of people have thought, oh, there's a spot for Sonny Styles, spent real money for middle linebackers, inside linebackers. Is there any chance that NFL free agency could make my dreams come true, guys?
Yes.
Come on,
Jesse. Yeah. Because I still think that we're going to get a curveball. We're going to get a curveball in this draft, and someone who we don't expect to go in the top 10 will jump in the top 10. You're going to have some teams that I truly do believe you can put as many videos as you want out. They have this thought process on a defensive end should have 33.5, 35-inch arms, whatever the number may be, and they're going to stick to that. And that's going to push Ruben Bain down. So a lot of things are going to happen where things will get shifted and pushed down, and someone who may have thought about having a Ruben Bain and didn't realize he was going to be there, they may jump and get him, which pushes somebody else down. I think there will be a real close chance. And it may be close enough to when we're watching the draft, we may be looking at each other and saying, should the Cowboys try to jump up? Should they try to jump up and get this guy? Should they stay pat? I think it's going to be that close that Sonny Styles makes his way closer to 12 than we believe, because someone is going to jump in that top 10 that we was not expecting, and that's going to shift the draft order to the Cowboys to be, as Jeff would say, I was dead close to getting Sonny Styles.
I was so close. This is how close
Yeah,
I was. To it.
Yeah, I know.
That's how close I was. That's how close I was, Chill.
You know, Jeff, that's how close Jesse was to catching you in that race too. It's close. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's all on video. It's an 8K.
Get to your point.
It's an 8K.
Get to your point.
Let's stay on top.
Jeff, you've been out, okay? And
I have.
I got a question for you. And
Okay.
Number one, this whole thing is, you know, we're seeing what Washington's done. I think Washington is out of the defensive end hunt early in the draft, right? Because of what they've done in free agency. What scares me, and it may work in the favor of what you're talking about, is you're talking about Sonny Styles, but what scares me with Jeremiyah Love, number one.
Oh.
In Washington, with CJ Daniels will be freaking scary.
His name's Jaden. Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, my bad. Jaden, that would be freaking scary. Okay. And could that be because I think that could push maybe Sonny Styles down.
Can I tell you this, Chill? I hope they pick a running back in the top 10. And I know it's just the leftover hater in me. But I like go back to whoever you want. Ashton Genty is awesome. And he sucked.
But he's with the Raiders.
Saquon Barkley is awesome. But he wasn't the guy you think about until he got to Philly. Like the team that picks, if you can't block,
he was a bad boy in New York. He was a bad boy in New York. Don't do that. Don't do that revision history now. He was a bad boy in New York.
He was good. And he was so good that they were like, bye. Because
they messed up. We can't. That was bad decision.
He was a 4-yard per carry back his last year in New York, and then he's 6 in Philly. Like running backs are running backs, man. And I want a good one, but a top 10 pick? That's crazy. And to your point, if Jaden Daniels is willing to run again, and they really like zone read it up, that may make a running back more scary. A running back scarier in Baltimore. Derrick Henry standing next to Lamar Jackson, who will take it and run. Like that is scarier. So you may have a point there. I thought you were going to try to ask me if I would take Jeremiyah Love at 12.
I was going to get there. Because we asked Duffy that. Me and Duffy on the same. I don't know how you. I'm sorry. Javonte's not stopping me from taking Jeremiyah Love at 12. If he's the top 3 talent on your board.
Let me check the board. Hold on.
If
he's at 12.
If Jeremiyah Love falls at 12 and the Cowboys take Jeremiyah Love, I'm going to curse on air.
Let me see. Yep. Jeremiyah Love is my 3rd best player. But I don't think you can't.
If he's there at 12,
the Cowboys take Jeremiyah Love, I'm cussing on air.
I'm talking to the draft expert.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Chill out, Jesse.
I guess he studies all these players, put his board together. His number 3 player is there at 12. What you doing?
If they did, I would demand that they get back to work in the front office for all the other things they got to do. Like you got to trade future picks. You have so much more you have to do on defense, and running back is such a luxury pick with a premium pick. Yeah, you would have to do other things to make me okay with that. But yeah, you want Jeremiyah Love on your football team. He's a monster, and he brings exactly what Javonte doesn't. He brings, if I break through this line, I will outrun every one of you. There ain't no catching me. He'll bring big plays. I love Jeremiyah Love. I do think that would be a big luxury for the Cowboys, and they have so many other things they got to do. But to your point, or maybe to my own point, I don't know. It's a weird year. You know why I didn't like the Zeke pick? Jalen Ramsey was available. And I know that in the Cowboys building, they didn't know if they would play him. They thought they might play him at safety. So they weren't going to unlock Jalen Ramsey the way that they needed to. But I thought Jalen Ramsey, like that's a premier prospect at a top position. And in this draft at 12, I don't think you're going to have that. You're not going to have a premier prospect at a premium position. And so, man, am I talking myself into this, Jesse? I'm sorry, Jesse. Am I talking myself into this? You better do some other stuff to make it okay if you're going to take Jeremiyah Love at 12. And I don't think you'll have the option.
And one other question for you, since you've been out, and it's been a talk, because I brought it up, and certainly we know who Fran loves. Fran loves this guy. Kendrick Falk, if he's there at 12, he's there at 12, what you going to do?
I don't love it. I think it's it's fairly rare that the guy who, and I guess technically he does have college production, just not in his last year, but it's rare that the non-pass rushing edge guy in college turns into one in the NFL. Like, we love to pretend that it's easy. We love to say, yeah, but look at how big and fluid and kind of athletic.
Well, your boy Houston did it.
Why don't we take one example when they don't take? I knew.
Okay. By the same token, no pass rush with short arms.
You're talking about Danielle Hunter.
But by the same token, no pass rush with short arms has ever done anything. Ain't Peter drop, but yeah, we ready to take a pass rush with short arms. Ain't no pass rusher. With short arms since we have ever Peter drop. Pro Bowl, nothing. But we're willing to do that.
I do think part of that, and I'm not going to fight you on this because I think that's the beauty of the draft. The beauty of the draft is if you want the tools that people love in the NFL and always have, it's Keldrick Falk. If you're trusting tape and production, you're taking Ruben Bain. And so I'm not fighting you too hard on that, but I also think part of it is they don't get a chance. Like, I don't know the last time there was a Ruben Bain in college football. When's the last time we had a really short arm guy that when you watched him, you said all of that stuff works? Like, there's lots of guys in college football that have had 15 sack seasons, but you watch them on tape and you go, oh, that's not NFL.
Well, I guess I'm saying there are a lot of guys with short arms who've got a chance to play.
Are there?
They have not, huh?
Are there?
I'm assuming they got. I'm not saying first rounders. I'm just saying there are a lot of guys with short arms who've got a chance to play in the league.
Do you think that maybe
short arms keep you out of the first round, doesn't keep you out of the second or seventh round, right?
I think this, we have to ask questions about the diet in America. That's what we have to do, because Ruben Bain is going to have the shortest arms for a top 100 pick ever. Top 100. And he's probably going to go top 12, probably top 10. Cassius Howell, Texas A&M pass rusher, is going to have the shortest arms to ever be drafted. And he may be a top 20, top 30 pick. He may be. And so I don't know what's going on. It's weird. How have we never had this prospect before? Because I've been doing this for draft stuff for what, 13, 14 years, something like that. And I don't remember ever having them. Like, we talk about the arm length on different guys, but I can't ever remember being like, oh, the best player in the class is the biggest outlier ever. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we're not eating our veggies. Maybe there's something in the water. I don't know. It's confusing. I don't know how we've gotten ourselves to this place, because there are absolutely guys who have been good college players, really good college players, that you could see on tape they didn't have the NFL tools. And part of that tool is length. But watching Ruben Bain, you don't see those shortcomings. You're watching a guy that if you're like, wait, you're telling me who's going to block him? Good luck. I watched him against guys who are going to play in the NFL, and he ate them. So, I don't know. It's very strange. But I'll take Ruben Bain in a heartbeat at 12. And if I'm wrong, you just have to go in and go, look, we acknowledged going in, we were betting on an outlier. And some teams won't. Some teams absolutely will not. Some teams, that's written in stone. There is a threshold for certain things you have to play this position on our football team. Some teams will not touch Ruben Bain. Absolutely won't. Some teams will not touch a corner who is not a certain height. What's D'Angelo Pons, Indiana? He's short. Some teams would just be like, look, we know he's really good at football, but we have this data, and this data tells us that the odds are really low. So we're going to bet on somebody else. And some teams will do that. And maybe I'm wrong to look at Ruben Bain and say, I'll bet on him.
Yeah, and Dwight Freeney was 6'1" or 6'7", 8", so 6'1" with 30 1/8 inch arms.
Oh, was he? So he was super late drafted then, or undrafted?
Yeah. Now he's a Hall of Famer. He had 125.5 career sacks, but again, he's 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's a short guy
with a short arm. You walk around with the T-Rex. That's okay. I bet on Ruben Bain. I'll be that guy. I'll do it all day. Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, it is a Magic Marker Monday. Hit us in the chat. What is your letter grade for the Cowboys in free agency so far? We'll do it next. Make sure that you get yourself the Die Hard Draft Guide. Our all-city draft expert, Fran Duffy, he's an absolute beast. You saw him with his little promo earlier in the show. You want to have access to the draft guide. This is the culmination of so much really cool work. I love what Fran does because I think that the NFL draft is freaking awesome. I love it. I think it's super fun to study, and he does it all. And he's been doing it for long enough that this is not just a guy who's watching tape and telling you what he thinks about a player, although that's in there. And I love that it's not group thinky. This is one person who's done this for a long time. You're going to have guys that are going to be off on the consensus by 50 picks. And I like that. But you want to have access to the Die Hard Draft Guide. And that's Fran Duffy's work. It's put together through watching film, through being out at the Shrine Bowl, being out at the Senior Bowl, talking to scouts and executives and coaches and getting a feel for the backgrounds on these players. And as a guy who loves the NFL draft, I think that the Die Hard Draft Guide is absolutely incredible. And I think you want to have access to that when it comes time to draft next month. And you can get that when you're signed up to be a Die Hard. And right now you are getting the hookup if you want to get signed up to be a Die Hard, thanks to the free agency frenzy. And that Die Hard status still comes with your free t-shirt. You can pick a t-shirt. If I could move, if I had two legs, I'd walk out and grab some of my DLLS shirts to show you, but I can't walk. I have a walker that is 4 feet from me that when I get up from here, I'll be grabbing my walker to get around the house. But yeah, you get a sweet t-shirt when you sign up, which is great. It's a limited time offer right now to be a Die Hard, $36 for your first year as opposed to $79.99. So during draft season, take advantage of that. It's a great time to get signed up to be a Die Hard. I want you to do it. You need to do it. You need Fran Duffy on that wall. You want him on that wall. You need him on that wall. Get signed up to be a Die Hard. Do that today or else, which of course is not a threat. All right, it's a Magic Marker Monday. Looking for your letter grade on Cowboys free agency. I found a notebook. And I found a pen. I appreciate all you guys in the chat for the all the discussions on the NFL draft. I do love me some NFL draft. Let me knock out the super chat before we do this. Alvino is in the super chat. Did a mock. Got Jeremiyah Love, Avion Terrell, and Jalen Ramsey, the safety at USC. That's not a terribly unrealistic mock if you're willing to take a running back at 12, which I don't know if they are. But Avion Terrell at 20 is my dream come true. He's a Clemson corner, and he is a dog. And maybe we need to talk about that. Let me just write something down for myself real quick. Cowboys cornerback thresholds. We can talk about that in a second. Letter grade for free agency. I want them from you in the chat. Zach is in the super chat. Jeff, go look at highlight tape of Robert Henry, UTSA running back versus A&M. He's a savage. Can't afford to draft Love at running back despite the talent. Plenty of talent running backs later who could contribute to winning. And the other thing about running back is if you already have one, don't go chasing one with a premium pick. You got one. He's fine. Why are you guys quitting on Jaden Blue? What the hell is that about? My speed is already on the roster.
Yeah, Texas guy.
Yeah, why are you hating on Jaden Blue, Clarence?
Draft board. See, I believe you draft guys, and you don't spend all this time grading somebody, making the third overall player, and then pass on that type of value when it's your turn to pick. Like CeeDee Lamb fell to the Cowboys. They didn't need a receiver, but you can't pass on value.
The difference is a receiver has more value. So I think I need to make two draft boards. One is ranking the players, and two is ranking where would you pick them. Because I am lying to myself if I say I'd pick Jeremiyah Love third. I wouldn't. My stack is Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Jeremiyah Love, Caleb Downs, David Bailey, Ruben Bain, Mansour Delane, Francis Maui Noah, Avion Terrell, Carnell Tate. Like, I wouldn't take him over. I guess you could take him over Tate because the Cowboys are in a unique position where you absolutely positively do not need a wide receiver. But, 12 is probably about the spot where I would consider it. Probably is. Who wants to go first on a letter grade for free agency? Who's got me?
I'll go first.
Come on. God, you are such a good artist. Have you done
a great artist?
Did you take a class, or you just got that? You just handsome man, talented, played the league, won a natty at North Carolina, and can draw.
It's a C for me. It's a C with white women lips. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
White women. Damn. Or white women go to the place where they get their Botox and they get bigger lips.
What about them eyelashes? You got the eyelashes.
Yeah. It's a C. It's a C for me. The Cowboys.
Why your grade got to be a woman?
Clarence,
we always say men always refer to their things as she. My car is always a she. Like it's always, and we always talk about the game, right? So she's a weird lady. So we always talk about it in reference of woman.
Jesse, give us your explanation. But first, I do want to point out that Clarence got Clarenced up, and by Clarenced up, I mean amorous, and by amorous, I mean horn. By looking at a picture of a C you drew, he got turned on by the eyelashes.
That's not true. That's even true.
That's what you said.
Yo, that's crazy.
Go ahead.
So for me, it's a C. I think the Cowboys, they got better in some areas in the secondary, of course, because the only way you had to go was up. You actually have guys now in the secondary who can probably cover than what you had before. At the safety position, you found some more help in the slot. That also goes to show me, just by the way that they're attacking this secondary one, that's what Christian Parker's specialty is. And if his specialty as a defensive coordinator is being a defensive back coach, then it should behoove the Cowboys to bring more defensive backs in so that they can help that secondary. It also lets me know that they don't fully trust the likes of Bland, the likes of Revel, and solely of Kalen Carson, right? Because they're bringing in guys who fit the mold more to what Christian Parker is looking for than the guys that they actually have there. And I think there's going to be a battle throughout there where those guys just aren't given positions because of money, but they're going to have to go out there and earn them with Christian Parker, especially in the secondary, because that is his specialty. But nothing about what they've done so far in free agency. I don't want to sound redundant or be a broken record, but nothing that they've done screams game changer. And again, if you're 32nd in the league last year, yeah, you got better because now you sit somewhere around 29. To me, that still isn't good enough for this team to get to the level that it aspires to get to. And at the end of the day, that's all about hosting Lombardi in February. And so unless there's some more moves, some more game-changing moves that will happen in the upcoming weeks, it's a C for me. And the Cowboys are truly hoping that Christian Parker is able to take this C-level defense and bolster it up to somewhere in the B+ area, because other than that, I still think you're a very vulnerable defense with some holes in them that people can exploit each and every week. And I don't stop thinking about what the Cowboys have on a schedule basis. We don't have the dates yet, but we darn sure do have the opponents. And if we're looking at those opponents for the Cowboys next year, they're going to have one of the most difficult schedules in the entire National Football League. And so you're going to need some game changers out there. And as we sit today, defensively, I don't think they have them. And I think they get better simply because you can't get any worse than 32nd. And a lot of those guys that you had last year departed, and you brought some guys here that may be a little bit more competent mentally and understanding the game. So for me right now, it's C.
Okay, that's good analysis. It's good artwork. It's good everything from former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holley, now the greatest beat writer in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, has taken the stage. Clarence?
Can you see that C+?
No. No, can't see anything. But there's a plus. We got the plus.
Back it up.
And then maybe let the lighting adjust a little bit. Yeah. Just tell us what it says.
C+.
It's a C+.
Okay. All right.
C+.
Okay. Did you draw anything? Any art?
No, I didn't draw anything. Didn't draw any eyelashes either. No eyelashes. No eyelashes on my C.
Okay.
But I think that, as I said before, I'm not grading on a curve. We were sold something and we didn't get that delivered. We were sold a difference maker. And they try to get a difference maker, but we don't give grades for effort. Did you get it done? You didn't get it done. They didn't get it done. They didn't get a difference maker. Yes, they're better. I think that they got better, but are they appreciably better? And that's the thing I was trying to say earlier. I don't think they've gotten appreciably better, but they're better. I think the best thing they've done was the defense coordinator hire. And I remember a couple of years ago when they hired Dan Quinn, and the best thing they did that offseason was the hire of the defensive coordinator, not necessarily the players that they brought in free agency. And we look at this offseason based on the excitement surrounding the coordinator and the guys I call them the young guns. His young guns on defense were more excited about the coordinator and what he's going to bring in his potential in his future than we necessarily are about the players. And the thing is, the coordinator told us, I need help. You can bring me in and we can talk about all this other stuff. I need help. I need better talent. to make this thing go. And again, I don't know that they've gotten appreciably better in talent. And one question I want to ask you, Jeff, we were just talking about the draft and cornerback.
Come on.
There's Kobe Durant and what they've done at cornerback and the hopes for Bland and the hopes for Rubble. Does it make cornerback not a urgent need at the top of the draft?
I think right now, based on free agency, and I think you guys will agree with me on this, if you had to guess, and you hate to pigeonhole, I'm picking this here and this there, but if you had to guess what the Cowboys are going to do in the NFL draft at 12 and 20, wouldn't you guess they're going to pick a pass rusher and a linebacker? And that doesn't say that I think that they're great at corner or that what they have at corner is good enough. And I think there's a decent chance corner is what lines up to be your best player available. So I hope they're not done at corner. But what I think they've done at corner is what the Cowboys tend to do and what most teams want to do before you go drafting, which is they're going to look at their depth chart in that secondary and they're going to say, we could go play on Sunday. I think Kobe Durant can start for us. He can start with Revel and he can start with Bland. And depending on what you want to do with your safeties and your nickel, Jalen Thompson will be a starter. Like, I think they can look at their secondary and go, if we got to play with that, we can play with that. And I don't think they definitely can't say that at linebacker.
Right.
And I don't know if they could say that at pass rusher. Like, if you count Rashawn Gary as Zaraku's opposite, as the stand-up guy, even though I think he'll put his hand down some too. If you count him as the other outside guy, and then you say your depth there is what, Sam Williams and Leafau? Or do you picture Sam Williams with the hand down? I guess I picture him as standing up and rushing. You don't love that group, but I guess I could go play on Sunday.
You get whooped. You get whooped.
Right. That's not good enough. It's not good
enough. Yeah,
enough.
I think Leafau is at end because that's the only place he can play in this defense. I wouldn't say they're counting on him to be a, rotational guy there. One other question, before you go the draft, the urgency for linebacker. Do they need to do that in free agency, or are there enough off-the-ball linebackers in this draft that, because a lot of people said, the reason the Cowboys aren't going crazy for linebackers because of all the great off-the-ball linebackers in the draft that they can fill that need with?
Can I hold the answer to that question, which I have an answer, but I also have a question about it? Can I hold that for about 3 minutes to the next segment? Because I got to give you my grade on free agency, but don't let me forget.
Now who lips are
Hold
those?
on. Are those black women lips?
Whose lips are those?
Black women lips?
Whose lips are those? Whose lips are those?
I just wanted mine to be a little bit bigger than Jesse's. I wanted a full-figured lip woman is what I was looking for with my grade. I give them a C. I think they did what they do. They and I'm counting Rashawn Gary as free agency, even though it's not, right? The Cowboys have done exactly what they do. They go find guys at reasonable rates that they don't have to win a bidding war for, that fill needs to get ready to go drafting. And I think they did a better job this offseason. Like, I'll take Kobe Durant having to play NFL snaps over Kyer Elam. I'll take Jalen Thompson over anybody that they added last year, probably. I think Osa Gary is a wash. Losing Osa and adding Rashawn Gary to me is kind of a wash. And it's just a fit thing for your defensive coordinator. I think the fact that Rashawn Gary agreed to a pay cut, which is a story today, as part of the move over here, tells you the proper expectation for him. He's now going to be a $17 million player. So I think they've done exactly what they do every offseason. They traded a 4th-round pick for a player. And then they acquired guys that are at kind of the same level. I think there's a possibility that Jalen Thompson's a better player than what they normally add and that he can really help you. But I don't see how you give him anything other than okay, as the grade. That's a C. That's a C. Myron said, I see Botox. Pop, we can't read that one. We can't read some of that one. Full-figured lip woman sound like a song from the 70s. Yeah, that's possible. All right, let's kick around Clarence's question, because I think Clarence, you asked a great question, and I have thoughts on it, but I also have questions on it about, is it okay if the Cowboys are banking on one of their starting linebackers being in the draft. Let's do that, and we'll do it next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast. All right, get signed up to be a diehard. We got a sweet deal going on for you right now. Normally, it is $79.99 when you sign up to be a diehard, but right now, limited time offer due to the free agency frenzy of $36, and you need to take advantage of this. Why? Because we like discounts. Discounts are great. You know what else is great? Thrift stores, antique shops, estate sales, basically anything where you don't have to pay full price for stuff. It's a great thing. So we want you to take advantage of that. What you get when you are signed up to be a diehard is you will have everything you need to know about all of your favorite DFW sports teams. Our website, alldlls.com. You know, we got a lot of stuff that's out there for everybody. And then, like most, you got your premium content for your subscribers. And if you want to know everything there is to know from people who are in the know, Clarence on the Cowboys, we got beat writers for every team in DFW that are giving you premium content. And you want to have access to that. You do when you sign up to be a diehard. In addition to that, you'll have access to Fran Duffy's draft guide. The diehard draft guide is freaking awesome. You'll be ready for the NFL draft like no one else because you'll have scouting reports and rankings and all these different things on the guys that are going to be in this draft, thanks to our guy, Fran Duffy. You get that when you're a diehard. You know what else you get when you sign up to be a diehard? You get a free t-shirt. You like t-shirts? Look at the St. Patty's stuff. Want your green t-shirt? Clarence was zooming in on his screen to see the shirts better. I just want to point that out. He was leaning forward to try to see the shirts better. I like that DLLS one. I want that one. And when you decide to be a diehard, you can pick a free t-shirt. You can get one that is a theme for one of your favorite DFW sports teams. You can get one of them. You can get whatever it is that you want to get. We got the hookup for you. So go ahead and make sure you get signed up to be a diehard today because we'd appreciate it. Do that or else, which of course is not a threat. All right, Clarence asked me a question, which is going to lead to a question for you guys, and then I'll answer a question if I want to answer a question. Beauty of hosting is I can ask you guys questions, tell you not to sit on the fence, and then when it gets back to me, be like, oh, man, we're out of time. Because right now, I do think the answer for the Cowboys, at least temporarily, for their other starting linebacker that's not named Marvion Overshown is free agency, and it has to be. It has to be. Because you cannot force yourself to say one of those two picks has to be this position. It's just the wrong way to do stuff. And so I don't know who the name is in free agency, but if they don't add somebody, you're doing malpractice when it comes to team building. And the question that I have about it before I answer any questions is how comfortable are you guys with a new defensive coordinator who the one thing that he seems to preach more than anything is my guys got to be good up here. We're going to be changing a lot of things. We're going to be doing a lot of reactive things. You're going to have to do stuff on the fly. The safety who he brought in has been a 7-year starter in the NFL who has played multiple positions in a defense. Like there are certain things he's looking for. Are you comfortable slapping the green dot, the guy who's going to run the defense, communicate the defense? Are you comfortable putting that on a rookie in a new scheme where the emphasis seems to be on having it up top?
No. And that's why I went on my rant last week about the Cowboys should bring in a veteran middle linebacker, someone who you can say, like you said earlier, if we had to go play football today to start the year, I'm okay at that position. The guy that I picked was Bobby Wagner. I think Bobby Wagner still has a little bit of juice left in the tank. And for him, even if it's just to start the year out as a starter, as you usher the young guy into it, playing that middle linebacker position, it takes on such a huge role of getting everybody lined up on the defense. And this is going to be a complex defense. I need somebody who has years of experience, who actually know how to study, who actually knows about keys and formations, who looked across the line of scrimmage and has stared down the gun barrel against you name the quarterback. He's been up against him. He's been up to Patrick Mahomes, and he's been against the Josh Allens and the Lamar Jacksons and all that other stuff. So he's been up against the McVays and the Shanahans of the world, and he understands concepts. So give me a guy like Bobby Wagner, if it's for nothing else, is to take that young rookie and put him under the arm, take Leofau and take Overshown and Shamar and put all those guys under the wing and say, let me be big bro. Let me be Unc. And let me get you guys together and show you what it is to play this position and this league at this level. And then we go from there. If it's just a 6 or 7 week thing, and then you go, okay, we start pulling Bobby Wagner back, putting the other guy in, or maybe it's just Bobby Wagner on first and second down. And then we bring the more versatile athletic guy in there because Bobby Wagner can't drop the covers right now. But,
oh, no.
Yeah, like have those other guys dropping covers. But I think you need a veteran there. That's just my personal opinion.
I mean, this whole offseason about improving the talent, not improving the cerebralness, right?
If you got talent and you don't know where to go, it does not matter. We saw that a year ago. We saw that a year ago.
We also saw they brought in Logan Wilson because he knew where to go. He just couldn't get there. He didn't have athleticism.
He didn't know.
He knew where to go.
He's
a veteran. Okay. He fixed. I mean, he is who you liked in the offseason. Remember when you liked the other guy out of Chicago. Okay. He has those Sanborn traits. He knew where to go. He just couldn't get there. We talked about it last week. The guy couldn't run anymore.
Anytime you get benched on the worst defense, the second worst defense in the league, I don't want you. You got benched on the second worst defense in the league.
I respect Bobby Wagner's career. It's the reason why he's still free. It's the reason why nobody's messing with him right now. I don't and don't throw the numbers at me because all the numbers it look good, but that wasn't a great Washington defense.
That's good numbers right there, Chill. That's some good numbers. Tackled a lot of people.
I know. Were they down the field? What they Jalen Smith tackles? Tell me. You watch the tape. Let me know. Were they down the field? You already said he can't cover. Can he run side to side? Can he get where he needs to get? That's the question at him at 35. And again, we got coaches to coach. Okay, the Cowboys need talent. We're talking about upgraded talent. We're talking about finding difference makers. That's what we should want. That's what they should be looking for. I respect the hell out of Bobby Wagner. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's going to be a first ballot guy. He is all of that. But my focus is obviously, and I think most teams, the Cowboys focus should be upgrading the talent. We got coaches to coach.
Ajax is in the super chat. He said Elmas Doomerville was 5'11", 32-inch arms, led the league in sacks one year, had the same number in another year. You're preaching to the choir. Well, 32-inch arms is acceptable. 30 is what's not to a lot of NFL teams. So he would have passed some teams' threshold test, and Ruben Bain would not, but I'll take Ruben Bain all day. I'll bet on him all day long. Mo Cow is in the super chat. Free agency not good, but it locks in CP for another year. I think that's probably true. You don't change this much stuff and then turn around and change it again, even if you don't get great results next year. And then Andrew's in the super chat. Don't get me wrong. I'm buying the hype of CP, but I'm also worried. Wasn't there a lot of hype around Chris Richard? And look what happened. I'm just saying. Can he be a DC before we start saying he'll be a head coach in 2 years? That's fair. That's fair. And I don't know him like that. So he's Mr. Parker, Coach Parker to me. He's not CP to me. And so with the linebacker stuff, I do think, like somebody said in the chat and dropped the name CJ Allen, I think there's absolutely rookies who could be the guy in the middle of your defense that calls your defense. And I think CJ Allen at Georgia is one of them. But if you're really going to go into an NFL draft and say, all right, guys, who's ready to go drafting today? By the way, at 20, we're picking CJ Allen. We don't think anybody else is going to take him in the top 19, and we're going to pick him because he's been a middle linebacker calling the defense for Georgia for 2.5 years, and we think he can do that job. And, like, you've already penciled in your pick at 20 before you know what happens in the top 19. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. So I think there's absolutely a chance that it falls in a way where they find a starting middle linebacker in the NFL draft. I think that's absolutely possible. But putting yourself in a spot where you have to, that's a bad idea. They're that player away and maybe another edge rusher from being able to draft for real. You have to add a veteran linebacker. You have to be able to go play and not force yourself that we absolutely, because what happens if the top two linebackers are gone? Like, where are we drawing the line on which off-ball linebacker we're willing to take in the first round of an NFL draft? They have to sign somebody. And I don't know if it's Bobby. I don't know who it is. Somebody else said Sonny Styles. Yes, Sonny Styles can wear my green dot all day. Is he going to be available at 12? Am I going to force a pick at 20 just because I don't have a linebacker? That's not the way we do business around here. Well, maybe it is, but it's not the way we should do business around here. Jacob Rodriguez in the chat. There's a bunch of linebackers. I like this group of linebackers in this draft. I'd love for the Cowboys to come out with one of them. There's not a lot that I love at pick number 20, and I don't know what's going to happen at 92. And so that's my thing, is that you have to bring in somebody who's capable of being that guy, so you're not forced to find that guy in the draft.
I'm glad you brought up Jacob Rodriguez because he's a popular guy around here with the tech. Had a good combine. A lot of people, Brad Sam, I love Jacob. A lot of people think Jacob Rodriguez is a guy who could be at 20. Do you see him at 20? Is that too high for him? Because I know he's mostly been a second-round pick. Is that too high for him?
I would not be shocked if Jacob Rodriguez is a first-round pick. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. I think that he's probably deserving of that. Where is he for me? Styles, Reese, Allen, Rodriguez, Hill. So he's linebacker 4 for me. And that's one of those things where it's like, are you just going to say whatever linebacker is available, we're going to pick him? That's a bad way to draft.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking, is he worthy of 20? Not first round, because first round could be 32. Is he worthy of 20?
I doubt, to me, that he would be the best player available at 20, but I wouldn't be mad depending on how it all plays out. I wouldn't be mad if he was the pick. I think there'll be places I would rather go. And then Jason's in the super chat. He said, I'm fine with drafting linebacker who can start. DN takes longer to develop. How are we going to rush the passer? I think you need what, 5 sacks from 7 people?
Yeah.
7.
And I think that's it. Cause we've talked about we've beaten around. I don't think you're gonna get that Myles Garrett, Michael Parsons high number sack guy. I don't know if they want that in this defense. And we just looked at this defense, and you may get 4 or 5 guys with 5 to 7 sacks, but you're not going to get that one that everybody looks at difference making in edge rush. You're going to get a lot of sack numbers like you would have got with Max Crosby. I don't think that's in the cards now. You're looking for a number of guys who can get to the quarterback.
I agree. Somebody asked, sorry, I got distracted by a Final Fantasy question. Yeah, I'm team Tifa. Is it Tifa or Tifa? It's a Final Fantasy question. Don't worry about all that. Pass rush is another group where I feel like the Cowboys are going to go into the draft and feel like they're going to get a guy. I think their plan is that they're going to get a guy. And one of their top 2, one of their top 3. Can I count Quinnen? When I say the Cowboys, however many best pass rushers, can I count Quinnen?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to debate now. Now we got to fight.
Quinnen's not one of their best pass rushers?
No, he is, but I wouldn't count him as a pass rusher.
If I don't count Quinnen and I say the best edge rushers on this team is Raku, Gary, I think they're banking that one of their 2 best edge rushers next season is going to be drafted at 12 or 20. That's what I think that they're banking on. And that's dangerous business too. We're doing some dangerous business.
Well, I mean, do you not think, and I hear what you're saying, because you're focused on edge rushers, but you not believe that the Cowboys believe that Quinnen Williams is their best pass rusher right now, and they're counting him in that pass rusher group?
Yeah.
How are we going to get to the quarterback? Quinnen Williams is line 1. He's one of the reasons why they're going to get to the quarterback.
If Quinnen Williams is line 1, and this is not me hating on Quinnen Williams at all. I think
my God, he's going to hate on Quinnen Williams.
If Quinnen Williams is option number 1 as being your best pass rusher, your defense is going to be in trouble.
Well, I mean, I think at this point, there's no question he's their best pass rusher. There's no question in my mind right now, no matter what they do in the draft, that Quinnen Williams is their best
interior defensive lineman is your best pass rusher. Good luck.
Good luck. Aaron Donald, Chris Jones. I mean, they're out there. They're out there.
Yeah, but you're talking about 2 unicorns, right?
Right.
You're talking about 2 unicorns. And I'm not saying that Quinnen is not good. Quinnen ain't Aaron Donald. We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna even play with that situation. Quinnen is not Chris Jones.
All I'm saying is the sheer numbers, based on what we've seen, how this team is made up, based on what's in the draft, short of getting Max Crosby, the Cowboys will go into the season next year with Quinnen Williams being unquestioned as their best pass rusher. There's nobody in the draft. They're going to get this better pass rusher than Quinnen Williams. There's nobody on this team right now that's a better pass rusher than Quinnen Williams.
No, and I only asked it as, can I include him? Because it sounds like the way that they're going to play defense is not on a snap-to-snap basis. Quinnen Williams is teeing off and going after the quarterback. So like the odds of him being a double-digit sack guy, I think, are low because of the way that they're going to play. But anyway, we'll continue the conversation tomorrow. We appreciate everybody stopping by. We love you guys. Make sure you're listening to the DLLS podcast every day. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.